It's all going to zero against Bitcoin.
It's going up forever.
You're against Bitcoin, you're against freedom.
Yo, welcome to another episode of Simply Bitcoin Live. We're your number one source for the peaceful Bitcoin revolution, color breaking news, culture, matic warfare. We will be your guide through the separation of money and state. Anyways, Michael Saylor is just he's just taking it all in. He's having a victory dance right now. He's up on his Bitcoin investment. I saw a tweet the other day. Did you guys know that every $1,000 Bitcoin goes up in price, the Michael Saylor's Bitcoin investment goes up like $158 million? It's just some like absurd amount like that. So yes, Michael Saylor is vindicated. And more importantly, we're going to play you guys a clip today where he's making the case that we've been making for this last week, really for the last couple of weeks, that Bitcoin awareness is going mainstream. You're seeing that. You're seeing that when Natalie Burnell, we played you guys the clip on yesterday's episode, where she went on Fox Business and she's literally saying how Bitcoin is the money of peace and fiat is the money of war, how Bitcoin gives the opportunity to the younger generations, the millennials and the Gen Zers. And she's saying this on legacy mainstream media, right? So yeah, I completely agree with Saylor. Bitcoin is going mainstream. It is the legal tender of a nation state, of a country. And I think that in the next cycle, there's going to be so many public companies, there's going to be so many countries, they're going to be looking at what Michael Saylor is doing and looking at what Nayib Bukele is doing and just come to the inevitable conclusion that, okay, the Bitcoin strategy is obviously superior. It's obviously the way to go, right? So anyways, very, very exciting times. We are ending the week with a bullish episode. But in the montage as well, I added some other things because it can't just be full, bull tard all the time. We are going to talk about CBDCs and digital IDs that they're planning to roll out in Europe and all over the world. Make no mistake. And you're seeing the attacks by governments, the PSYOP attack by Elizabeth Warren and co. and her media allies to try to shove down the throats of Americans these crazy, insane proposals by the FinCEN that would basically make it like look down upon for you to use a single use Bitcoin wallet address, which is like by default, that's how they work, right? So like, obviously you can make the case that there was more sinister intentions when they made these crazy proposals, right? So anyways, you don't call it the separation of money and state for no reason. That's exactly what we're living through, ladies and gentlemen. And the way that you protect yourself through all this chaos, all this madness, the great disintermediation is by taking self-custody of your Bitcoin. Anyways, everybody, no more delay. I want to bring up my legendary co-host. He is optimistic today. He must have spent the night with Chrissy. How you doing, Opti?
No, I did not. Stop spreading fake news, Nico. I'm doing well, man. It's Friday. What's up, everyone? Hope you guys are gonna have a good weekend. And then I have to off the rip combat something you said, Nico. I stay bull-tarded, always stay bull-tarded. This is the way, always stay bullish. But of course, be conservative and make sure people don't get wrecked out there. That's always some good wisdom. And before we go on, guys, we apologize for starting a little bit late. I see some people complaining. We had to take care of some business, had to deal with some technical issues to get our guest on point today. Like, hey, we do our best to make sure we're on time. So forgive us, guys. We don't do it often. I get it. We will respect your time. We love you guys. It is what it is. Sometimes we're a little late. Hey, we love you. We love you. But there's things that happen that are outside of our control. Anyways, on that note, let's bring in our guest. Shouts out to Tony Miltenberger, a Bitcoiner. And I think he's going to drop some wisdom on us about connecting the dots in inflation today in the culture. So I'm excited for this one. We love to spread that wisdom and try to get our minds right when we have these conversations with our normie friends and family and everyone out there that tells us we're wrong. Anyways, Tony, how you doing this morning?
Very good. Thank you very much for having me on the show, and happy Veterans Day.
Let's go.
So it's Friday, so let's make it a good one.
Absolutely. It is Friday. It is Friday after all for 100%. We have made it through the week. Let's finish it off very, very strong. All right, everybody, no more delay. Let's jump straight into the numbers.
The Bitcoin numbers.
Is your Bitcoin in cold storage really secure? Is your seed phrase really secure? Stamp Seed's do-it-yourself kit has everything you need to hammer your seed words into commercial-grade titanium plates instead of just writing them on paper. Don't store your generational wealth on paper. Paper is prone to water damage, fire damage. You want to put your generational wealth on one of the strongest metals on planet Earth, titanium. Your words are actually stamped into this metal plate with this hammer and these letter stamps. And once your words are in, they aren't going anywhere. No risk of the plate breaking apart and pieces falling everywhere. Titanium stamped seeds will survive nearly triple the heat produced by a house fire. They're also crush-proof, waterproof, non-corrosive, and time-proof. All things that paper is not, allowing you to hodl your Bitcoin with peace of mind for the long haul. Stamp your seed on Stamp Seed. All right, guys, I made it super easy for you guys. You could scan the QR code on your right-hand side when you're watching the video, and it will take you directly to the Stamp Seed website where you can get yourself a titanium seed phrase storage kit. Don't store your generational wealth on paper. Store it on one of the strongest metals on planet Earth, titanium. And you can use promo code SIMPLY to get 15% off anything on the Stamp Seed store. Anyways, at the time of recording, the Bitcoin price is 37,310. Sats per dollar, 2,680. Block height, 816,170. Blocks to halving, 23,830. Halving estimate, April 20th, 2024. Total Lightning Network capacity, 5,278 Bitcoin capacity value. It's roughly around 200 million US dollars. Realized monetary inflation, 1.74%. The market capitalization of Bitcoin, $728 billion with a B. Bitcoin versus gold market cap, we're sitting pretty at 5.58%, continues to crawl up. Once Bitcoin reaches the market cap of gold, that would put the price of Bitcoin at roughly $500,000 to $600,000 per coin. Anyways, I have a video for you guys of Michael Saylor, just bullishness, saying that Bitcoin awareness is going mainstream. Also, in the clip, I included a clip of Jerome Powell losing it and cursing out and like trying to like, so we should just kick these climate protesters out of the room. And of course, we have Congressman Davidson basically making the case as to why, you know, CBDC should not, Warren Davidson should not be passed in the United States, saying the quiet part out loud. I suspect that this fight will continue to accelerate and it will get bigger and bigger and bigger because it's very clear. Governments all over the world are making it very clear where they want the future of money to be. They don't want a money that they don't issue. They don't want a money that they can't censor and confiscate, you know, at the flick of a switch, right? So anyways, I'm going to play you guys the video and then we'll talk about it.
Mainstream awareness seems to be reaching new heights for Bitcoin. We have the likes of Larry Fink referring to it as a flight to quality. We have Druckenmiller noting that it's a legitimate asset embraced by an entire generation and lamenting that he doesn't own more of it or own it. We have Mohammed El-Arian on television noting that Bitcoin is being viewed now as a safe haven asset. We have a lot of coverage of Bitcoin in television, on television networks, news networks, and also through mainstream media. That should continue to grow. As that coverage increases, that combined with increasing availability of Wall Street analyst coverage and new voices emerging in the community, like like Fidelity with their analysis of Bitcoin. All of those new voices and new interest is driving education of a new generation of investors. I think we can expect more of that during the coming 12 months. And all of these things together just create a virtual cycle. And as they drive Bitcoin awareness, they should drive Bitcoin investment, and that should drive more news, and that should drive more awareness, and that should catalyze more and more firms to take an interest in supporting Bitcoin or investing in Bitcoin.
Thank the chairman. This amendment expands upon the base text. The base text says that none of these funds may be used to establish a central bank digital currency. And a central bank digital currency shouldn't be established. Establishing could mean, though, that it has already been created, waiting in the wings just in case we need it. So for Star Wars fans, imagine if we let the Empire build the Death Star, as long as they promise not to turn it on. Let's not do that. Let's not build the darn thing in the first place. We shouldn't design it or develop it, and it shouldn't exist. So that's the point of this amendment. Stop wasting your time on something that the American people don't want and Congress hasn't authorized.
GDP growth in the third quarter was quite strong, but like most forecasters, we expect growth to moderate in coming quarters. Of course.
By refusing to treat climate change like a systemic risk,
thank you.
You are putting us at
Thank you very much.
economic disaster.
Thank you very much.
Climate change
Yep.
will threaten
Thank you. Just close the fucking door. Close the door.
Oh man, he's had so much shit.
That might be the most Chad move by Jay Powell I've seen in a while.
Maybe Jay Powell is like secretly based. He's like, yo, fuck this shit. Close the goddamn fucking door. Oh man, that is hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious. Yeah, man, I think everyone's just fucking sick and tired of Clown World right now these days. So going back to the Saylor point, he painted this great picture of all these very, very powerful institutions, influential institutions, these asset managers that have trillions of dollars assets under management, all getting into Bitcoin, all the interest getting into Bitcoin, the media interest getting into Bitcoin because all these large players are moving in. And mind you, this is a chart that he posted back in August 2nd, 2023. The price of Bitcoin was, a lot smaller than it was, a lot lower than what it is today. And look, this speaks for itself. MicroStrategy outperformance since adoption of Bitcoin strategy. Anything else? Look, if you put your money in gold, it would be down. If you put your money in silver, it'd be down. If you put your money in bonds, it would be down. You could say the tech stocks perform pretty well. Oracle performed pretty well. Bitcoin still performed the best. And MicroStrategy performed better than everyone else. So clearly, Michael Saylor on a public company front is proving to the entire world that the Bitcoin strategy, MicroStrategy's Bitcoin strategy, is superior. It works. And I think that next cycle, it's going to be irresistible for other public companies not to follow suit. And it will get to a point eventually where if you don't have a Bitcoin strategy, you're going to be left behind. And I think Michael Saylor is proving that right now. He's vindicated. I think his average cost per coin was like 29,000, 29 to 30K. So he's up on his investment right now. And we're just in the first innings of the next bull market cycle. So yeah, I mean, this is absolutely crazy. This is incredibly bullish. And he just looks super tired on that interview because, I think he's sick and tired of saying the same thing every single time. But someone just put it in the chat because that chart that I showed you guys was old. Apparently MicroStrategy is up 500% this year. I have to verify that. But yeah, man, that's pretty crazy. Anyways, Opti, what are your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, I think that metric or that tweet that we both saw yesterday, I don't have it on hand. I tried to find it real quick so we can verify, but every $1,000 move in Bitcoin, Saylor is in profit by, what was it, like 158 million or even more or something like that. Like, it's just absolutely incredible. And so imagine, we see the Bitcoin price go up and we feel good about our gains, but just imagine every little incremental move, you're just making millions on it. And that just goes to show that holding Bitcoin on your corporate treasury, on your balance sheet, is probably the best move for everyone out there. And we've been covering it all year long about all the corporations out there with fiat on their balance sheet and just that they're holding, melting ice cubes, as Saylor always says. And
so just to interject real quick, this is the MicroStrategy chart. They're not up. What did they say? 500% this year? That is not true. They're up.
Let's see.
Since the Bitcoin bottom, they're up roughly 62.95%.
Well, go back further.
Let's look back on a 5-year scale, right? Since they started their Bitcoin strategy, you could say that's in the early 2020. They are roughly 500%. That's true. Okay. Roughly 500%. That's not that bad.
It's 320, but close.
Yeah, 320, 322. But anyways, close enough.
But yeah, it just goes to show, and moving forward, this next 2 years going into 2025, it is going to be absolutely a stupid move if you're a corporation and don't have Bitcoin on your balance sheet. And Saylor's going to prove that to everyone out there. Nico always says Nayib Bukele will prove it on a nation state level, and all us just individuals will prove it on that individual level out there, that like you need to be holding some Bitcoin, especially as it goes up. It doesn't need to be your entire net worth, but you need to have some at least to protect yourself. And here we are. And Saylor's been saying what we've been saying on the show for a long time. I really do believe that we have crossed the Rubicon into mainstream consciousness, and everyone is going to have a stance on Bitcoin right now moving forward. You're either, what do we say? You're either for Bitcoin or you're for slavery. You're either for prospering or you're for debasing the future. And funny enough, I was kind of having this conversation last night at dinner of just kind of putting all of the receipts on the table and just like talking about everything going on and how I just think like this next bull run is really angling to be a perfect storm of bullishness for us. And, I was bringing all the receipts. We bring the receipts on the show all the time, but just it goes to show that once everyone starts talking about Bitcoin, I really think we are all bearish, because I think there will be a crazy FOMO in regard to Bitcoin. And, being someone that fell into the FOMO in 2017 when I thought it was going to be like hyper Bitcoinization, I think this is going to be magnified, and we're all being very conservative in our Bitcoin predictions because we all got burnt last time. So we're afraid to even talk about Bitcoin. Stupidly bullish. Hence why I'm telling you I am going to be stupidly bullish up front. Anyways, Tony, what's your thoughts? Sorry, you're muted. You were muted for some reason. Go again.
There we go. No, I'm very excited. What is in front of us, and it provides so much hope. And I'm jacked up that we're able to sit here, front row and actually get to watch this happen. And so yeah, no, I'm super stoked.
Let's go. Shouts out to the chicken coop, though.
Are you in a fucking you in a chicken coop right now? Holy.
Yeah,
holy,
I thought,
holy.
This is who I come out and try to,
shit.
orange pill.
Oh my God. Take a screenshot, post it on the Simply Twitter. This is the first time for Simply Bitcoin. Holy cow. Well, look at that smile and that screenshot I got. That is hilarious. That is.
So we got 20 chickens.
Can you pick one up?
Ladies better start laying eggs soon.
Can you pick one up?
My kids. Oh, could I?
Yeah.
I gotta find one. I've only had them here for like 3 weeks. Yeah, I could probably pick one up here. Let's see. Get out of here.
What
What
But,
the fuck is
yeah,
going
so
on?
it's just, I traded my life. I moved, from Seattle, Washington, 2.5 years ago out to the East Coast. And this is just, one of the new tricks, you get to pick up and learn how to do. I was a commercial broker, did real estate out in Seattle, and did that for 20 plus years. And, started at the bottom, was able to work my way up and really get to a high level at the real estate level, where you're really getting to see, where is this, who is buying the real estate, where the money's coming from, who are these players that are in town. Well, it wasn't always like that. When I first started out, it was a market, and I just focused on industrial, but it was a market that was owned by, like your parents and my parents, and maybe we'd team up and own a building together, and we'd lease it out to these, other local businesses. And we never really pushed too hard on the rental rates because we never wanted these guys to move out. We liked the cash flow. Well, fast forward to when I started was in 2000. And then in about 2008, 2009, 2010 is where the institutional money came to town. And then the changing of the guard happened. And it happened right underneath our nose, where the local families no longer own the real estate. They had sold them to the corporations or the institutional money. And so, when you're young, I'm 46 now, but, take 10 years, away from that, or 15 years back, I got to be right there where it switched over into these institutions. And so institutions, they don't really care about cash flow. They do at some point, but they're there to get the highest price per square foot. And then that highest price per square foot for the rent then gets passed back down to the, to the local business, which then gets passed back down to the consumer. And so all of a sudden you had, rates that had been, that had just been slowly going up over the years. And then cheap money arrived and they just took off like this, because now you went from local landlord to a professionally run landlord on these buildings. And so you have these people that went from a rate of paying, like, let's say 40 cents a square foot monthly to, 60 cents, 80 cents, $1.20. And you're just like, wow. And then some of these companies, they have these leases that they sign every 3 or 5 years. And, let's just say the landlords, changed within that period that they had their lease. And it's like, well, I've been dealing with this local family. Now I'm dealing with, who is this? And it's a professional landlord. and you're going to battle, and you're sitting there going, well, I was paying 40 cents. Why am I paying 80 cents? And they're like, well, go look around. Every building around you is now owned with institutional money. And there are no, cheap deals out there because the changes happened. And so, as I'm watching this happen, I realize, I'm a part of this. And, you're just like, well, Jesus, and then everybody is. You see some of these local businesses that used to be local that were the tenants. Well, now they're all institutional. And at the end of the day, it just comes back to higher prices for the consumer. And so I was able to use that perspective, and as I'm going and traveling through my Bitcoin, understanding that, all of Bitcoin and what it is, you're just like, holy shit, what industry hasn't been absolutely destroyed by cheap money? And there isn't one that, that hasn't been touched. And so that's where I'm just like, when you find Bitcoin and realize how this changes the incentives of our money, you're just like, wow, how is this possible? And so, this can't be possible. I go to bed and I think, no, this is a farce. And then you wake up, you go through it again, and you're just like, I'm more bullish today than I was yesterday. And so I can't wait to see this happen. I wish it would just, happen a little faster, but it doesn't. We got a front row seat, and it's going to be such a positive. And it's really the people that jump on board today and don't prolong it, it's going to be a softer landing for them. But make no mistake, you're going to have to join this network. Just like nobody knew that they were an internet company. Well, you're now a Bitcoin company, and we're going to, unleash the true powers of the internet through Bitcoin. And so I go to these conferences, I meet guys like you, and I'm seeing everything that's being built on top of Bitcoin. And I think I'm bullish. Well, these people are 5 years bullish in front of me. They've left me behind, and I'm just scrambling, trying to figure out what everybody's working on. And that's where I'm just like, this is, we are so far at the beginning. And I feel so, lucky to have been introduced to Bitcoin, and just see that our kids have such hope. And just civilization, and it affect. I look at it, quickly from my point of view, but you can look at it through so many other people's point of view and how it affects them positively, and you can't deny it. So
can't deny it.
Yeah.
Can't deny it. Is that a Bitcoin white paper on the back of your chicken coop?
It is. I couldn't, as I sat there. I had it in my house, and I had it printed, and it didn't print out well, so it's blurry. So then, and I was like, well, shit, I'm just gonna bring it out to the chicken coop. I know what it is, so when I feed these guys, now I can see it every day. And so, anyways, I think it's appropriate.
So you're streaming live from a chicken coop, and you have a Bitcoin white paper in your chicken coop.
Yeah, I thought
that's pretty fucking badass, bro. I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty it's pretty crazy. I'm tweeting it out right now. Breaking.
Breaking. Well, I just need these. I need these chickens to start laying. Like I said, I've had them for 3 weeks, and so anytime now we got them at 19 weeks, and so anytime these ladies are going to be.
Well, all the power to you, bro. That is badass. Opti, we got when we get the studio, bro, we just got to have chickens just walking around, bro, because if not, we're not doing it right. Anyways, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor before we move on to the news. Bitcoin 2024. It's going to be the largest Bitcoin conference on planet Earth. It's going to be in Nashville, Tennessee. It's not going to be in Miami this year. It's going to be July 25th through the 27th, 2024. Nashville is one of the music capitals of the U.S. You definitely don't want to miss it. For a GA ticket, you can get it for $349. For an industry pass, you can get it for $849. For a whale pass, you can get it for $4,749. The industry pass includes access to Industry Day, gives you 3 days access to the conference, and the whale pass gives you access to the deep backstage VIP lounge. Last year at Bitcoin 2023, I got to meet Tulsi Gabbard backstage. That was pretty badass. Guys, you definitely don't want to miss the biggest Bitcoin celebration of the year, Bitcoin 2024. You can use promo code SIMPLY to get yourself a 10% discount on the already discounted tickets. All right, everybody, let's hit the news.
The Daily News.
I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Foundation Devices. It's self-custody done right. They built a premium grade hardware wallet called Passport right here in the US. It's fully open source and verifiable. It's the most intuitive Bitcoin wallet designed with a UX reminiscent of a simple feature phone. So you will know how to navigate it and use it the moment you pick it up. Get your Bitcoin off exchanges and into your own hands in just a few minutes. Experience the peace of mind that comes with taking ownership of your own keys. After a massive sellout during Bitcoin Miami 2023, the Passport is back in stock at foundationdevices.com. Bitcoin only, open source verifiable, completely air gap security model, gorgeous design craft, premium grade materials. If you're thinking about getting your Bitcoin off exchanges, this is the one for you. Check out the Passport link in the show notes below to learn more. All right, everybody, I made it easy for you guys. You could scan the QR code right there on your screen, and it will take you directly to the Foundation, the Foundation Devices website where you can get yourself a Passport hardware wallet. It's absolutely beautiful. Remember, guys, not your keys, not your Bitcoin. Get yourself a hardware wallet. Obviously, we recommend the Passport by Foundation. It's completely open source. Anyways, everybody, so this is what I want to talk about today. We always talk about the theme Bitcoin or slavery. A lot of people think I'm hyperbolic. I brought this up to Beauty on at BitBlock Boom 2023. And he said, Nico, you're wrong. It's not Bitcoin or slavery. It's Bitcoin or death, right? And a lot of people are like, no, that's so hyperbolic. That's not true. That's an over exaggeration, right? That's what people say. No, absolutely not. Because fiat is the money of war. Fiat is the money of endless wars. Fiat is the money of capital misallocation. Governments could spend an unlimited amount of money funding, these programs that you might not necessarily agree with. Some of those programs are funding wars, right? Some of those programs might be funding censorship, and God knows what, right? So as time progresses and governments get more desperate because more and more people see the escape valve, to use Christine Lagarde's own words, who was the head of the IMF, who's currently the head of the European Central Bank, who's also a convicted felon, and that's probably why Opti and her fell in love. That's a joke. But yeah, so check this out. This is not a parody. I read this on Simply Sessions last night, and I was just awestruck because it's absolutely insane. So this is serious. This is not a parody. Like, this is like, they're being real. They even add a picture, they're like hashtagging it and everything. One step closer to the first trusted and secure EU digital identity framework. Today's final agreement on the EU digital identity wallets paves the way for a successful digital decade in which every European has access to safe and secure digital wallets across the EU. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Without the EU digital identity, you don't have access to safe and secure digital wallets. Let's ignore, all those open source Bitcoin wallets that gives you access and secure access to your Bitcoin. That they don't exist. But take a look at how they have co-opted the language. They're now using our language in a lot of this rhetoric, bro. So check it out. All EU citizens, residents, and businesses will be offered a possibility to have an EU digital identity wallet to access private and public online services. This revolutionary tool, right? We've heard that before. Empower users. Guys, wording is important. Framing is very, very important. They are literally using our vocabulary. Make no mistake, that is not a coincidence, right? But also take a look at, the engagement on this. This is at 130,000 people following. It's decent. I wouldn't say it's that crazy. 212 likes for the size of that account. I wouldn't say it's very impressive. But clearly, their information is working. I don't know. I want to know who these 212 people are. But anyways, because I definitely want to send them a video about Bitcoin or something. But anyways, it goes on to say the revolutionary tool will empower users, put them in control of their data and privacy, enhance security. Like, all of that is BS. Like, total BS. This revolutionary tool will empower the government, put the government in control of the data and privacy, and enhance security. Enhance security, but I mean, it depends on how you define security. So it goes on to say, on top of that, the EU EID will allow users to open bank accounts, make payments, hold digital documents. These can include a mobile driving license, a medical prescription, a professional certificate, or a travel ticket. For citizens, the EU Digital Identity Wallet will offer an easy and practical alternative to online verification while giving complete control over their personal data. Like, I mean, dude, I think this is a terrible dystopian idea. And the fact that they're trying to connect your ID with a CBDC, they're trying to get rid of the relationship you have with the bank, and it's going to be a direct relationship that you have with the government. It is dystopian. And look, if you want to take a look at where this could go and where I think they're heading with this, based on, the rhetoric and the language coming out of the videos coming from the World Economic Forum. We played you that video of that central banker getting all giddy, talking about CBDCs and how that will allow them to control certain aspects of society, right? Here's China's social credit system. And I think we've showed this on the show many, many, many months ago, but it's a great graphic to explain what a social credit system is and how it can be connected to a CBDC and how that can be used as a forcing function on society. Essentially, what they do is that they incentivize good behavior defined by the government, and they de-incentivize bad behavior. Now, the problem is that what if you live in a totalitarian country and the government is the one, doing bad things? Well, hey, here's one of the things that you can lose some of your social points on. If you illegally protest against the authorities, you lose points. Who is defining what is an illegal protest, right? Posting anti-government messages on social media. I mean, if you're a Bitcoiner, you're fucked there. Spreading rumors on the internet. Who is defining what rumors are, right? Insincere apologies for crimes committed. Who makes the decision on whether that's an insincere apology or not? Participating in anything deemed to be a cult. Well, all Bitcoiners are effed at that point, right? And then they incentivize good behavior. So defined by them. Praising the government on social media. Positively influencing one neighborhood, taking care of elderly family members, engaging in charity work. So a lot of these aren't that bad. But do you really want the government to have this type of control, right? Because it's absolutely scary. And now, what are the punishments of a low credit score or social credit score? You're excluded from booking flights or high-speed train tickets, meaning you can't drive. Denial of licenses, permits, and access to some social services. Public shaming, exposure either online or on TV screens in public spaces of the names, photos, and IDs, numbers of blacklisted citizens, phone dial tones mandated by authorities that inform people that they are calling a dishonest debtor. I mean, this is a dystopian society. And of course, for the people that behave, they get tax breaks, they get shorter waits in hospitals, they get free gym facilities. You guys get the point. This is a forcing function. It makes people self-censor. It makes people not, complain or not make their thoughts known because they know if they do that, they might not be able to travel. They might not be able to get access to certain loans, right? They might be publicly shamed on a public square. Like, it's absolutely crazy. This is what CBDCs will enable. This is what a CBDC tied in with a digital ID will give the government the ability to do. Now, they would like you to believe, specifically in the European Union and the US, that no, even though we'll have these powers, we'll never do something like this. History has shown that when the government has the power, they tend to use it, right? And I know what a lot of you guys are thinking. This is only happening in China. No, ladies and gentlemen, they are rolling out these CBDCs all over planet Earth. Here's this great resource from atlanticcouncil.org. You can go to atlanticcouncil.org/CBDC tracker, and it tells you all the CBDC projects all over the world and what their current statuses are. So in China, it's already basically launched. In Russia, the same thing. In Kazakhstan, the same thing. In Europe, it's in development. In the United States, it's in development. In Canada, it's in development. In Mexico, it's in development. Brazil, it's in development. So, and again, remember, in the United States, it's interesting because they have specifically said, no, we're not working on a CBDC. But on this website, it literally says, what is the CBDC status? In development. Right. And remember what happened when Bitcoin Magazine tried to make fun of the FedNow system, which is what I believe is the first iteration of the American central bank digital currency. What did they do? The Federal Reserve literally sued Bitcoin Magazine for talking shit about them. Right. So this is the world that we're heading into. And if you think this is only going to happen in China, you're kidding yourself. Remember what happened during the Canadian truckers protest. They shut off people's bank accounts because of their political beliefs. Now, imagine not having to go to the banks directly and saying, hey, cut this person's account, but the bureaucrat themselves flicking the switch how they see fit. No one deserves that type of godlike power. No one deserves the godlike power of having a CBDC, and also the power of the money printer. No one deserves that. And I think Bitcoiners fundamentally understand that in their hearts. But I guess the rest of the world, is still playing catch up, to put it nicely. Anyways, Opti, what are your thoughts on all this, brother?
Oh man, before I get serious, the chat's killing me, basically saying that I'm to blame because Chrissy is pushing the CBDC. Oh my God, you guys are funny. First and foremost, kind of just adding on to the last things that you were saying, the CBDC doesn't work if there's an escape hatch, i.e. Bitcoin, guys. So they need to corral everyone everywhere. Hence why we're seeing all these pushes recently to get everyone on, a central bank digital control mechanism. It's digital wallets, digital IDs. We're seeing this all play out at the same time. Some could say that maybe there's a conspiracy, but we'll say that there just isn't coincidences here. And then further, doubling down on what you were saying, I just watched this morning on X or Twitter. I hate using X. On Twitter, Tucker Carlson about the guy who made a meme and he may be going to jail for 10 years for subverting politics. Like, this isn't happening away somewhere in China. Like, it's happening here in America as well. Like, wake up before it's too late. And this is what we always talk about here. This is why we constantly try to expose the lies, expose corporate BS, and show that there is solutions here. And I really like that you brought up that this digital wallet, digital ID system coming from the ECB is using our memes and our battlefield, which is the internet. Like, it's our meme world and everyone else is just living in it. And their reactionary stances just make me so bullish. Like, they have no original thoughts out there. They don't even know how to combat the meme army. They don't know how to partake in the guerrilla mimetic war that we are all a part of, that we were born into. And it just makes me feel so good. It's like there's no way they're going to win on the battlefield of ideas on Twitter if they aren't able to control information. And we know that constantly information wants to be set free. We're seeing it be set free constantly, whether it's like what Elon Musk is doing, say what you want about him, say what you want about Twitter actually pushing free speech. There's also Nostr. There's everyone in Telegram groups. Like, people are talking about stuff and people are noticing that this is happening in real time and they're actively pushing back. I don't think humans are necessarily sheep and they want to just go to the slaughter, but the framing that they're using is absolutely nefarious. It's always the same thing. We're here to protect you, citizen. Trust us. Like, wolf in sheep's clothing. Like, oh, we're not leading you to the slaughter. Like, we're the ones that we're here to protect you, when they're the very people that you need protection from. Anyways, while you were going, Nico, I was kind of reminded of the movie They Live. If you guys haven't watched They Live, it's one of my favorite sci-fi movies. It's super great. It's got Rowdy Rowd Piper, the wrestler. It's a great movie. It's like a B-rated or B film sci-fi movie, but it's so good. And anyways, the plot of the movie, I'm going to run it for you guys, but it's still a good movie, is he finds sunglasses that basically expose the propaganda for what it is, that they're like an alien invasion on planet Earth, and they're constantly trying to brainwash you and psyop you. And this is what it feels like constantly. And then once you finally see through the veil, you realize, oh my God, it's all propaganda to try to keep me in the gate, keep me under control. And this is what it's all about. They want to control everything about you. And as they continue to lose control, they will continue to overstep and try to take more rights away at quicker and quicker paces. And we're seeing this happen in real time. They'll roll stuff out like this and say it's for your benefit. It's to protect and save the citizen out there with his digital wallets. Again, it's all just rehashed Bitcoin narratives, and they're just trying to put like a cloak on it to basically get you entrapped. And it's horrible. Like, don't let them, guys. This is why we tell you constantly to download Bitcoin wallets, get as many people as possible to download Bitcoin wallets, transact with Bitcoin wallets. This is how we peaceably fight this dystopia. And then on the last thing, you know, like that you were showing that like China social credit score, like all my homies are already on lists. Like we're already on those lists. You convinced me otherwise. And I think probably a big majority of the American population and people around the world, freedom fighters, are already on these lists. Our credit scores are probably horrible because all we do constantly is ridicule the corporate press and government and stuff. And again, it's just reminded of like we have a dude right now who might be going to jail in America for a meme. Like this is absolutely insane. Like this isn't happening somewhere far away. Like this isn't happening in the future. It's happening here and now. This is why we constantly say and double down it is Bitcoin or slavery. And we use Beauty on meme now. It's Bitcoin or death, guys. Like this is a matter of life and death. You need to hold some Bitcoin. Anyways, Tony, jump in.
Agree. I mean, when you say, you know, or slavery or, you know, or death, I mean, we have lost our vote. We have lost our leverage. You know, they tell us what to eat. You know, we don't, you know, they're no longer, you know, equals. They don't work, you know, with us anymore. We're sitting there, you know, you have the corporations and you have the government, and the government, you know, enforces what the corporations want. And we're just the yield down at the bottom, and we're just making this go. And you're like, how the hell do I get off this? Well, I'll tell you how to get off this. You get off this wheel by buying Bitcoin and learning about it. And then you kind of, your eyes are opened up, and just, you see all how you've played into this, and you're just, you can't turn that back, but you just look forward and you just say, hey, let's buy some Bitcoin. Let's get, you know, everybody else orange pilled and teach them, and change the incentives.
Couldn't agree more.
Absolutely. Amen to that. Change the incentives. You fix the incentives, you make the world a better place. Anyways, guys, I do want to give a shout out to our sponsor. They're the best place to buy Bitcoin miners. If you guys haven't checked out Racks, you definitely should. They're the most trusted place to buy, sell, and host mining equipment. You definitely want to check out their racks. If you scan the QR code on your screen right now, it will take you directly to the Racks Telegram marketplace, where you can connect with a member of their sales team. They make purchasing their products easy and transparent. If you're thinking about selling mining ASICs, they could also do that as well. You can access their vast network of domestic and international customers when you sell your mining equipment with them. What are you waiting for? Start your mining utopia today, and the best place to do it with is Rex. All right, everybody, let's hit the culture. We have a lot to talk about. Let's check it out. Here we go.
The Daily Culture.
Brought to you by SwanBitcoin.com. Swan is the best way to build your Bitcoin stack with automated Bitcoin savings plans and instant purchases, serving clients of any size from $10 to $10 million. We love Swan because they incentivize self-custody and dollar cost averaging. What are you waiting for? Visit SwanBitcoin.com today.
Let's go. All right, Tony. Well, this is the point of the show where we let our guests rant. So you touched on something that we will come back to, and everyone in the chat heard it as well. And so we're going to make a point to emphasize it, but everyone really likes a good orange pill story. So Tony, how did you become a Bitcoiner?
It was 2014, and it was, I had my third daughter. And so, you know, you're going to be home on Saturdays and Sundays quite a bit, and, you know, watching football. And so I sat there and wanted to put some money on these games. But again, I'm 46 years old right now, and trying to do this in 2014, there was only way to do it was offshore. And so you end up, you know, learning about, well, how do you do it? Well, you had to get some Bitcoin. Well, what the hell is Bitcoin? And it was, to me, it was just like, you know, getting an amusement, you know, park token, and just so I can, you know, go play my game. And so I bought one, and then I started, you know, doing my betting, and I realized real quick that I'm awful at doing parlay bets. And so I quickly, lost a Bitcoin, won a Bitcoin, and then just quit. And then kind of forgot about it until about 2017. And you start hearing about it in the, the news, and you're just like, wait a minute, I think I have one of these. And then you realize how much you have. And, it's like, I got one Bitcoin and it's going up to, $17,000. I'm thinking, hey, I'm buying some Sonos speakers. And so I buy the Sonos speakers, I get home, and so I'm now going to, cash this Bitcoin in. And I'm like, well, why the hell would I do that when, I only paid $400 and some for it? And that was kind of at the point where I was like, what do I have here? And so I slowly started learning in 2017, and just, really would smash by every night. And it's I haven't looked back since. And so it's been a great ride. And, it's, you go all the way up, and, go all the way down, and it's so it's exciting to see, where we're at today at 37,000. And, I can't wait to, continue to accumulate and just, try to, get my family and friends. And I'm not a very good orange pillar. So I just kind of just keep asking them, like, what's broke? Don't you think it's the money? How does it affect you? But yeah, that's my orange pill.
Love the story. Love it. And there's so many threads that I can push and pull on that one. But I think the main one is usually once you either get caught up in Bitcoin, or you hold some Bitcoin, or maybe you're holding shit coins, you ask yourself, like, wait, what is it that I'm actually holding? And that's when like the real rabbit hole starts. Anyways, let's get back to kind of what you were talking about in the beginning of the show and what we were talking about before the show started. So you were in real estate, and you were mentioning this idea of watching real estate go from local hands to institutional hands, and, connecting those dots. And basically everyone in the chat was saying, did you guys hear that? What he said about corporations? And this is where we are right now in Bitcoin. So let's jump on that. And then maybe we can do some like Bitcoin versus real estate stuff at the end.
Yeah. No, and it is, when you talk about an industry, I mean, I love the industry. It was a lot of fun. It's, real competitive, and you're working with a bunch of other people that are they're at the top of their game. And it was just, you see the effect of what it does. And so you have really, when you have local ownership, they, just care about cash flow. And they don't want to see vacancy. So they never push on the rents too much. It's like, hey, Bob, we know that your lease is coming up here in 1 year. Are you thinking about staying? Okay. Hey, it's good to hear that business has improved. We all know that values are going up. And, when you had two local business person that was renting the space and a local owner, they were able to, pretty much work things out, because the local owner just absolutely did not want a vacancy. And once that switches over to an institution, well, an institution is playing with other people's money. And so, to get into this market, they're always paying the highest price per square foot. And they also realize why they're doing this, across the United States, is like there's, the rents have been compressed for quite some time just because of this cash flow. That, they wanted cash flow, the ownership did. Well, this model's different for institutions again. And so they can take these risks, but, pay for a building, higher price, and then sit there and, there's a lot of good things happening in, the Class A markets where companies are, moving there, population's growing, and it's just, we're in a growing economy. And so that model works at that time. And it's just winding it up. And all of a sudden you have, people that were paying this amount for rent went up this much, the next year. I mean, just to put things in perspective, I watched dirt go from $8 a square foot to, north of $50 a square foot. And this is just for industrial. And so, who ends up getting to pay for that? It is, the business person. And so they know that, at that time, the landlord sits there and goes, well, what other options does this guy have? He's got to go move, and it's going to cost him, $100,000 to move or whatever. he can't move. So he's going to just end up, renewing his lease. And so that's what happens. A lot of people are just stuck, like throw in the towel or just what the hell, let's just sign another 5-year lease and hope to God we stay in business. But then that pushes, who ends up ultimately paying for it again is the consumer, which is all of us. And so this happened, all across, the United States. And so what I should also say is some of these landlords, these institutional landlords, is, they're big pension funds. It's like California State Teachers Pension Fund. I mean, they're a big client of mine and I love working with them. But what happens when, some of the tenants that they have are paying this exorbitant amount of rent and can't make rent anymore? Well, it just trickles on down, and you just see just what a big puffed up inflated economy that we have, which is just purely bullshit. And it's so as long as we can keep it, feeding the monkey and keep it up, well, then it's, we're not going to have a problem, but there's no possible way that we can keep, that massive balancing act. So anyways, I watched that firsthand and, realized I was, part of it. And, and then COVID hit and, it kind of makes you think differently. Like, hey, this life is not a drill. You get one of these. And, I didn't want to start a career over or anything like that, but I was like, fuck it, I'm out. This isn't where I want to raise my, children. And we ended up moving to Virginia to live next to family. And so we're starting over, which is just fine. And, I'm really proud of it. And my kids have been, really enjoying themselves. And it's like going back to 1980 when I grew up. And I really just, when I look around then, I didn't know the difference. Everybody seemed like they had the same everything, clothes, shoes, experiences. And when I was in Seattle, it was much different. It was like, you look around and you're just like, wow, how did we get here? And, but there's, it was also, that sounds all negative, but there was some positives too. You got to see what happens to a city when you have tremendous economic drivers. You have from Microsoft, Boeing, Nordstrom, Costco, Amazon, and you see all the positives and then you see the negatives. And they, Seattle's kind of lost their way. Their fabric that they was so special 20 years ago has been disrupted with, you have a bunch of new people in town and they're trying to figure it all out. And it was awful. We when I say I laid rubber leaving that town, it was, my office, every window was, busted out. We had a 2-story office, and all the windows were busted out down below. And it was every day I'd sit there and just go, God, is my window gonna be busted in my car? Or my office was up on Capitol Hill, and they had that chop zone or autonomous zone or whatever. So it was kind of like chaos in Seattle for a while. And anyways, I start rambling here.
No problem. You touched on something that I was literally saying last night to my friend, and is like, I think few people understand, just like you said, how bloated and how the economy is just like it's all fluffy and like it's really just hot air that is keeping this thing going.
It absolutely is. And what's crazy is, just people have become aware of it, let's say in the last 3 years, and talking about inflation. Well, guys, this has been going on for a long time, and it's scary. We started, as brokers working in Seattle, we started thinking the market was really frothy in like 2014. Like, hey man, we've hit highs we've never seen before. And that was, 10 years ago almost. And so, again, when you see where this money is coming from and what is supporting these markets, it is, like our pension funds. And so what happens when these things do implode? So I don't know what happens. I just know that it's not going to be good. And I don't want to be I'm glad I'm not living in the city.
Yeah, man.
All right, last question, Nico, before we go into the meme review, because I hear this constantly. You know, I still kind of keep an eye on like money Twitter and money in social media, and you'll see a lot of people recommending investing in real estate. And as Bitcoiners, we're like, yeah, that's cool and all, but we think there's a better opportunity to be investing in Bitcoin. So, Tony, as someone that's played both of those fields, what would you say to someone thinking of this very decision today?
You know, we like to buy when it's low and sell when it's high. And I don't think I'd like to buy right now. I think it's all high. And
to be clear, real estate, you're talking real estate, right?
Yes, I would not be interested in buying real estate right now. It feels too frothy. It feels like when things start to unravel, there will be some absolute, deals. I mean, you're seeing it right now with these big office towers that have been cut in half. I think it's way worse than that. I think it's going to be cut further. And that's just in the office arena. We haven't talked about all the other arenas, and we're all connected. And it's just, if 2008 did not teach people how connected we are, well, get ready, because this is, I think once, you start one, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So I just say, sit on the sideline, and what are you going to buy right now with your money? There is nothing else. It is get the one thing that is not melting away, and it is Bitcoin. And that's where I'd stake a big chunk of dough.
Let's go. Wait, hold on. Before we go,
What's the second best? There is no second best.
All right, everybody. let's hit the meme review. Let's do it.
The Daily Meme Review.
all right, guys, you already know the deal. This is the meme review where you guys send us memes on Twitter, tag us at simplybitcointv on X or Twitter. X is such bad branding. Anyways, tag your memes, tag your favorite memers memes, or drop them in our Telegram group, t.me/simplybitcointv. Tweet to the bullets, memes to the artillery. As you can tell, we are in an information war, and it's upon us as individuals to do our best to wake up our friends and our families out there, and of course, ridicule the corporate press and make the funnies to keep our friends' heads in the game. All right, first meme is by Run the Banks, aka @empty_banks, and he goes, "Never underestimate the hardness of a Bitcoiner." And we got what looks like a Roman warrior here with a shield, and there's some arrows in his shield, and it looks like he just went through a heavy battle, but he's getting back up on his feet, and it goes, "Fair-weathered investors think they can out-hodl us. Scammer traders think they can squeeze us. Arrogant hedge funds think they can buy us. They are all in for a rude awakening." Let's go. This is why we hodl. Love it. All right, next one. Young Gucci T shouts at the Tommy, and he goes, "Good morning," with a earth emoji, sun emoji, and a smile. And this looks like one of his pieces that he's auctioning off, but I just like the art. Shouts out to you, Tommy. And it goes, "End fiat before fiat ends us." And we got a ticking time bomb Earth, and Bitcoin is the scissors that is cutting off the flint that is going to explode. This is why we hodl Bitcoin. Anyways, next one is everyone feeling their feels right now. Everyone being excited about seeing some price movement. And I guess there was some inauguration of King Charles, and he is wearing his godly, kingly stuff. And as Bitcoiners, we like to poke fun at things. And here we go. BTC Gandalf on Twitter goes, "Live footage of you addressing your friends and family when Bitcoin hits $1 million. And it's a picture of King Charles in his king getup. And it goes, "I told you should have bought Bitcoin at 36K. This is the way." All right, next one. The same theme. We got Chewy, a.k.a. S256 Anon 001. He goes, "Thanksgiving is going to be lit." And it's the play of like the aristocrats looking down from their stoop, from their patio, looking down at the peasants, and they put King Charles heads on it, and it goes, "Told you to buy Bitcoin. Now you're royally fucked. Pass the potatoes, peasant." Oh man, that's a good one. I like that one. All right, next one is by Having Party MF on Twitter, and where I guess this is everyone's favorite new template. It is the Bitcoin hotline bling, and we got the no, don't wait to buy Bitcoin. We got the yes, you buy Bitcoin and wait This is the way, guys. Don't wait to time the market. I know that you guys are still out there waiting for 12K or whatever, but time in the market beats timing the market. DCA, stack sats every single day. Stack sats every time you get paid. Pay yourself in Bitcoin. This is the way. Save for your future. Anyways, next meme is by Maxie's Club. And this seems pretty PG, Nico, but I don't know. You're the Fuhrer here, so we'll see what happens.
What?
Because I do all my Bitcoin transactions at high priority rate. This is literally Nico. I do all my Bitcoin transactions at high priority rate, and here's a female, and she goes, "Oops, my bra fell off." And then this other girl goes, "Oops, my stats fell off." First class citizen, if you don't care about fees and you just pay those transactions, like it doesn't matter. Get my Bitcoin through. Next one is by Big Sean Harrison. It goes, "Number go up, my old friend." And we got the girl. This is Game of Thrones. I never watched it, but you know, she's got the smirky smile here. And he goes, "When all of a sudden you're getting texts from friends about Bitcoin, if now is the right time to buy." It's always the right time to buy Bitcoin, but you should have bought Bitcoin when I was telling you at 16K. You should have bought it when I was telling you to buy it at 3K. You should have bought it when I told you to buy it at 10K. Anyways, I have been getting these texts recently. Shouts out to the fam and friends texting me. You already know my answer. Always buy Bitcoin consistently. This is the way. Anyways, drop your meme review score in the chat. We will cover it live. And actually, Nico, you know what I realized this morning? I don't think we gave our meme review scores yesterday. I think we we were sidetracked and bantering at each other, and then we went straight into the chat's meme review scores. So, anyways, today's meme review score is, or you go. What? ASMR. What are these?
Boulder Canyon, thin and crispy avocado oil, classic sea salt chips.
Wow. Is avocado oil seed oil? Bad seed oils? I don't remember. Seed oil. Seed oil respecter. Nico's
avocado isn't a seed, dog.
All right. Yeah, maybe you're right. I don't know. Anyways, my meme review score is this bowl that I ate my berries out of, some raspberries and some blueberries.
Avocado's a fruit, bro.
Yeah, but don't they use the seed? I don't know how this works.
Avocado's a fruit, bro.
Hey, I don't know. I'm just wondering.
Tony, what would you give those memes?
I was going to show you my meme real quick. It's my fidget spinner.
Oh, it's a.
No, it is honestly, it's the best knife I've ever come across. But it's just one-handed, and it's like, where's the batteries go? There is no batteries, but you just push a button, and it's just like a one-handed awesome.
That's a good score. That's a really good score. All right, everybody. Let's get on to the
wait. Guys, support the show. If you love what we're doing, first and foremost, stack sats. Secondly, stack Simply Bitcoin merch. I'm wearing the hoodie. It's hoodie season. You need to get a hoodie. Get yourself some merch. We are in the works with Bitcoin artists to get you guys some cool Simply Bitcoin themed merch. I will get you the hats, Matthew. I know. We're doing all this. You might even get some coffee mugs. We're in the works. You know, we're trying to do this as high quality as possible. So we're not just drop shipping you guys low quality gear. We have to buy it up front. We got to make sure all the logistics are working out for you guys. So support the show. We love you guys. We really, really appreciate all the support. And can't wait to see you guys rocking the Simply Bitcoin theme merch. All right, Nico. Now is the time when we cover the meme review scores from the chat.
First one by Bart. A dozen fresh eggs. That's a great score. Classic. Next one by Skip on Down the Road. Meme score. Purchase Bitcoin. Close the effing door on fiat. I like that. Nigel Lowry says, I give the memes a vanilla review that Nico will read out.
Okay. Meta.
Phil C. I give the memes a pimp suit for every Bitcoin pleb this bull run.
Yes, right. Purple.
Orange. BTC is truth score. Waiting for 5 sats BB. BB. Torn up hodl. Meme score. Hot sauce for those Hassas for those eggs to be determined soon. Okay. Next score by Matthew J. I give the memes 12 spot Bitcoin ETFs on Friday, November 17th. Matthew J must know something that we don't. Is Matthew J a whale?
All right, Nico, I stand corrected. I guess avocado is the best thing for you, so we won't shame you.
Okay, Elaine, Tony creates a course to teach chickens to take self-custody. Normies tune in and learn too. I love that. Elaine, you always have the best scores. I love that. All right, Rave Elevator. I score the memes, the empty rubber band I used to hold fiat. Okay. Next one by Sicko. One oorah. Okay, there we go. All right, next score by Opti's Digital ID. Mr. Opti Fields, Cantillionaire Boyfriend. Does Opti see green avocados or not green avocados?
Green avocado. I don't know. I just know they're green. Maybe.
Winekes, T-Celly with DirecTV. Okay. That's a good score.
Wait, I don't know if you can read this one. Hold on. Yeah, you can read it.
Opti's waiting for the real estate crash so him and Chrissy can stop sneaking around and hiding from his roommate, Mom. All right. Wait, hold on.
Last one.
Will Rogers said, "Don't wait to buy real estate. Buy real estate and wait. They ain't making any more of this stuff."
Oh wait. Hold on. One meme score on Rumble.
On Rumble.
Shouts out to Narwhal Tacos. He goes, Bean score, a copy of the white paper in your outhouse.
Oh man. Guys, if you're enjoying the show, make sure to smash that like button. Really helps with the algos. Shout out to our Rumble audience. It's been growing by the day, so shout out to all the Rumblers out there. If you can't find us on YouTube for whatever reason, you can find us on alternative video platforms like Twitter, like Rumble, like YouTube. Your platform, whatever you decide, we'll be there. We'll try to be there. Anyways, I want to give a very special shout out to the Chicken Man himself, Tony. Thank you so much for joining us on the show today from the Chicken Coup. I got to say, that is a first in Simply Bitcoin's history, and it is absolutely badass and no fucks given. Right, you must be like a 2010 Bitcoiner or something.
No, 2014, and then really
close.
Right on. Thanks for having me on your show. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, man, you had some great takes. Really appreciate it. Love to have you back on in a couple months, and all the power to you, bro. That is absolutely badass. I hope when I grow up one day, I could be just like you and just have the studio in a Chicken Coup, because that is really fucking cool. Thank you so much for joining us, Tony. Appreciate it. All right, guys, that was our show. If you enjoyed our show, you know what to do. Smash that like button. Consider subscribing if you feel like we provided you value. But the number one thing you could do to help push the peaceful Bitcoin revolution is share this content. In fact, share all Bitcoin content. Don't be exclusive. Don't be inclusive. Don't share shitcoin content. That's counterproductive. Share Bitcoin art. Share Bitcoin music. Share Bitcoin everything. Just spread the culture. If we take over the culture, we'll win. That's how we win this thing. But like Michael Saylor said, it is seeping into mainstream consciousness. So we just got to keep up the pressure. Anyways, I love you guys. Have an amazing weekend. We'll be back on Monday for a brand new episode of Simply Bitcoin Live.